Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode in our TNA What If series in TEW 2020. I, of course, am CR Daredevil, bringing you the live action for another Impact here on the road to TNA Sacrifice. Um, we have a pretty good show tonight, uh, including the TNA World Tag Team titles on the line, as Jimmy Jacobs and Colt Cabana are defending their titles against a team. Hasn't really been revealed who the team is. We are also going to see MVP in action tonight, and we'll have to see what else happens as the show goes on. We open up in front of 3,180 people at the Adair Kennedy Memorial Park in Alaska, apparently. I didn't realize we were running Alaska, but we open up with Mr. Anderson going into CR Daredevil's office. He's asking for another opportunity at the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. He says that, he wants it. Magnus is maybe trying to duck him, but he wants to have that match. He'll do whatever it takes to get that opportunity. Daredevil says, "You know what? I'm a fair authority figure. I'll allow that. So tonight, you can have a shot. You will earn yourself another shot at the TNA World Heavyweight Championship as long as you win tonight's main event against Abyss." So we will have Mr. Anderson versus Abyss one-on-one in the main event tonight. If Mr. Anderson wins, he gets another shot at the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. 43 rating, not too bad, all things considered. Yeah, so there you go. So Mr. Anderson with the opportunity to earn another title shot should he beat Abyss here tonight on Impact. We then open up with the tag team titles on the line as Jimmy Jacobs and Colt Cabana defeat All Night Express in 10:45 when Jacob submits Kenny King with the end time, making defense number 1 of the World Tag Team titles. 53 rating for the match, 51 from Cabana, 48 from Jimmy Jacobs, 45 from Kenny King, and 44 from Rhett Titus. Shaul Guerrero has debuted her executive consultant gimmick. Got a very good rating. That is right, Shaul Guerrero. We went and stole Shaul Guerrero from WWE. Of course, one of Eddie's kids, one of Eddie Guerrero's kids. She was Raquel Diaz in NXT. We are bringing her here. She is going to be a wrestler, or she does have the wrestler role. She will be more of like a very part-time wrestler. She's going to be more of a manager at this point, and she's going to be the executive consultant for the All Night Express. So we'll be kind of running with that there. So she's clearly not going to be too happy about the fact that her team just lost, but she'll be managing them and seeing how things go from there. So she's going to be seeing where she can take them, but Jacobs and Cabana are able to get the victory here tonight to retain the championships. Afterwards, they are celebrating their victory when they get jumped by the Bromans. Jesse, Robbie E, and Zema Ion all run in and attack Cabana and Jacobs, beating them down to the mat and leaving them laid out on the canvas. So they're clearly showing that they're not done with Jacobs and Cabana by a long shot. I forgot to change that chemistry thing between Robbie E and Brooke Tessmacher. I got to change that after this. After that, we then have a bit of a promo from the American Wolves. They say that Red Dragon, the six-man tag match might not have gone their way at Lockdown, but that they still have no problem stepping into the ring 2-on-2 with Red Dragon at any point in time and showing them just truly who is the better tag team of the two. So nice little promo here. Only gets 36 rating because they're not great at promo work, but it advanced the storyline, and that's what's important. Then after that, MVP defeats Tigre Uno in 7:15 by pinfall to Running Big Boot. 54 rating for the match, 57 from MVP, 41 from Tigre Uno. MVP looking pretty strong. Uno had a little bit of offense, but MVP mostly looking strong in this match and was able to get the victory. Afterwards, MVP is celebrating when Bobby Lashley comes running down to the ring and chases him off, sending him running to the back. This gets a 46 rating as Bobby Lashley and MVP clearly on a collision path in the near future, but we're going to have to see when that ends up happening. Then after that, we have a four-way contest in the Knockouts division. Gets a 42 rating as Taryn Terrell defeats Evie, Katrina Waters, and Portia Perez in 10:38. When Terrell pinned Waters with a flying crossbody. 42 for the match, 42 from Perez, 32 from Waters, 34 from Terrell, and 37 from Evie. This match was really just, let's get 4 of our knockouts out there to get a little more popularity, a little more experience in the ring, that kind of thing. Kind of show what the knockouts division is capable of and all that. Not really any, title match on the line or anything like that, but just an opportunity to get these 4 some TV time and kind of see where they go from there. Perez with the better in-ring performance of the 4. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that. But yeah, nice little match there for those 4, and Terrell gets the victory. And after that, we get a promo from Shelton Benjamin. It's not backstage. It's actually like a phoned-in video promo. He's bragging about the fact that he's currently in Japan. He's doing New Japan's, he's wrestling for New Japan and all that. But he says that he wanted to, everybody's been asking him why he didn't shake AJ Styles' hand at Lockdown. And it's simple. It's because he wants to be the franchise player. He wants to be the top person. He wants to be the number 1 guy in professional wrestling. And taking the loss to AJ Styles is not dignifying of somebody who would do that. So he wants, he wasn't happy about that. He wasn't happy about the result of it. But next time he's in town, next time he's, back in America, back in the Impact Zone, maybe he'll have to step up to AJ one more time and see if he can get the job done that time. So kind of putting it out there that he might want to rematch with AJ in the near future, but we'll have to see if that ends up happening. And after that, we have the beautiful people, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, with a promo where they are talking about the TNA Knockouts champion, Madison Rayne. Angelina Love and Velvet Sky both saying that they want a shot at the title. And Madison Rayne appears. She kind of stares at the two of them. She says, I don't really care. I beat you, Velvet, at Lockdown. But if you want another shot, as long as you can earn one, go ahead. And Angelina, I have no problem beating you either. So how about the two of you decide to, go talk to Daredevil and see what you guys can do. See what you guys can get for a title shot. That kind of thing. So those two walk off. Love and Sky walk off as Madison Rayne has a bit of a smirk on her face. Almost as if she knows something and doesn't want to reveal what it is. So we'll have to see what that ends up being. Then after that, a little bit of lack of psychology, but that's all right. In a poor matchup, Adam Cole defeats Eddie Kingston in 9:58 by pinfall with a flying crossbody. 51 rating for the match. 45 from Adam Cole, 50 from Eddie Kingston. Cole getting the victory here. This was just another, here's 2 guys who haven't really been doing much recently match. Eddie Kingston hasn't really, I think this might have been the first match I've had for him in this series so far. Maybe he had a match on Explosion. And then Adam Cole, of course, was involved in that 6-person tag match at Lockdown, teaming up with Fish and O'Reilly as Future Shock. But Cole's able to get the victory here. Lack of psychology, hurt it a little bit, but that's all right. Cole's able to get the victory. Maybe he'll get some momentum on his side. We'll have to see where things go from there with that. Then after that, we have the Motor City Machine Guns with a backstage promo. Sabin says that you can never trust him to be alone around here. I mean, granted, Velvet's with him, but you can never trust him to be alone around here, and that he always has backup at any time. That's when Shelly kind of comes into the picture, and the two are kind of shaking hands and all that stuff. And Sabin says that maybe it's time to go tag team title hunting again. We might have to keep that in mind and see what ends up happening. So kind of teasing the idea that they're gonna come after Cabana and Jacobs and the tag team titles. So be interesting to see how that plays out. 55 rating there for that segment, and we kind of move on from there. We have a tag team matchup. I forgot to change the chemistry on that one too. I'm doing great with remembering to remove chemistry issues here. And about that, had decent wrestling but not much heat. EC3 and Rockstar Spud defeat the TNA X Division champion Paul London and Eric Young in 13-15 when EC3 pinned Paul London with a sweet meat sizzler after Dixie Carter interfered. London carried the matchup, 61 rating from London, 47 from EC3 and Eric Young, and a 45 from Spud. Of course, this match was brought about by the recent issues between uh, each member of both teams, really. EC3 and Eric Young having issues with each other recently. Eric Young, or EC3, feeling like he's not getting respect and that he's not happy about this clown that he calls Eric Young going around doing stuff. And Rockstar Spud last week kind of confronted Paul London and said that he's going to bring championship gold back, or he's going to bring more championship gold to Team Dixie and try to become the X Division champion. So this match was kind of brought about by that, and it leads to Team Dixie getting a victory here. So we'll have to see what that means in the near future for both stories going on there. But a 54 rating is not too bad there. Then we go backstage because we find out that there is a brawl happening. Kind of more of a heated confrontation backstage that leads to a brawl between Jeff Hardy and Christopher Daniels. Hardy kind of saying that he doesn't need saved over, and Daniels says that he can see the truth, and clearly he knows that Hardy needs saved. The two end up brawling with each other. Security shows up and not swarms the ring, but swarms the backstage area, kind of separates them before they can really hurt each other. It gets a 59 rating as things continue there. Clearly gonna have to lead to something crazy. Slight peek behind the curtain. This was originally supposed to be like a attack with a ladder thing, but I didn't realize that the risk for it was set up at medium level, and one of our broadcasters was like, no, you can't do that. That's too high of a risk for us. So, in theory, if you want to pretend it, in theory, there was a ladder involved in this somehow. Might be teasing something in the near future. Who knows? But yeah, so there is that. Then after that, we have an interesting little segment. Why did both of them do very poor with improvising? That's really weird. Anyway, we have an interesting little segment backstage. Austin Aries is sitting there. He's still disappointed about what happened at last week when he lost to Bobby Roode. He says he's just disappointed with himself. He's clearly going back and forth in his head about whether maybe it would be a good idea to go back to being a bad guy, so to speak. When AJ Styles shows up, and Styles says, "Listen, Aries, listen. I know that Roode and Storm trying to get in your head. I know that they are. I know them all too well. I've been here far too long with them. I know how they work. I know how they can be. But don't listen to them, man. Like you don't want to start going down that path. You don't want to get, you don't want them to try to convince you to be something other than you don't want to be. Don't let them get in your head." And he's kind of like, hey, if you need any help against them, I mean, I know them pretty goddamn well. So if you need any help against them, you let me know. And they kind of shake hands a little bit, and then Styles kind of walks off. So it looks like Aries has a bit of a potential partner in Styles here. We'll have to see where things go with that. And then our main event of the evening, a 68 rated matchup. Let's go. About that good heat, decent wrestling. Mr. Anderson defeats Abyss in 12-10 by pinfall with a quick roll-up after Samoa Joe provided a distraction on Abyss. Abyss was going to go for the Black Hole Slam when Joe's music hit and Joe came out, provided a distraction, and Anderson was able to roll him up quickly from behind, getting himself the victory and getting himself a future shot at the TNA World Heavyweight Championship once again. 68 rating, 63 from Abyss, 59 from Mr. Anderson. And then after that, as Abyss ends up going after Joe, Magnus shows up from the other side of the ring trying to attack Mr. Anderson, but he ends up getting beaten up and chased off instead for a 64 rating there. So Mr. Anderson stands tall, and it's even one of those things where the TNA title gets left in the ring, so Anderson grabs the TNA title, raises it up in the air in the middle of the ring to end Impact, with Magnus freaking out about that. Show gets 63. Not great. Lost its popularity in 18 regions, gained popularity in 13 regions, so not fantastic, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine because we're rebuilding some stories, we're doing some other things, and we're kind of going from there. So I'm okay with that. I am okay with a little bit of loss there if it means that I can start building up people otherwise. Because honestly, I could have cheesed it and just, I'm going to put AJ Styles in a match against, whoever and have like the best main event possible and blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to keep building up stories in a different way. So I feel like it's gonna work out pretty well for us there, and I'm honestly not too worried. I mean, we're still second in the nation, or in the country, the world, or whatever. Um, our popularity, uh, as you see, is at 64. So we're still, at least 5 popularity up from dropping from medium size. So we're fine there. We're good. No need to worry at all. Ratings for the week. Once again, TNA on top. Kind of obvious at this point, but NXT did have a better rated show though. They had a 67 rated show with the Backroom Boys defeating Mason Ryan and Justin Gabriel in the main event. And apparently Decimation defeated the Ascension for the NXT tag titles. Decimation being Alex Riley and Yoshitatsu. So there you go. Alex Riley and Yoshitatsu are the new tag team champions in NXT. And then they got attacked afterwards. So there's that. Also, Paige retained the women's title as well. So kind of interesting there. But yeah, another strong show from TNA here. ROH had a main event of Bully Ray and Elijah Burke defeating Matt Hardy and Michael Elgin. Interesting. But yeah, another strong showing from TNA this week as we continue on the build to Sacrifice, which in-game happens not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday. So we will have to see where, if I end up keeping that, and if so, we'll have to see how the rest of the card fills up from there. But thank you all for watching. Definitely appreciate it. Hopefully you all are enjoying the series. And until next time, we shall see you later.